Good morning, everyone, and thank you for stopping by the channel. Today, we're going to be looking once again at the tropics that it continues to be fairly active. Obviously, not as active as last year, but still a pretty active June so far. We do have a couple more disturbances that I do want to show you guys and talk about today. The possibility of what we could have going on. So we have two invests currently in the Atlantic. First off, we have Invest 95L right here, as well as Invest 96L. Invest 95L, we've been tracking for a little bit while, and they pretty much got rid of it, and they brought it down to a 10% chance, and now it's back up and to a 30% chance as we look at that 5-day graphical outlook. And as you can see, that especially for 95L, that cone of that cone of possible area of formation is rather big, starting the main development region all the way to near the Bahamas. So we could be seeing a tropical depression anywhere in that cone, obviously, whether it forms, right here or all the way over here. We'll have to see as we go on. This is 96L, obviously expected to go towards the Carolinas, maybe Georgia. And then this term right here, we're expecting a track. We were at least expecting a track like this, but that looks like to be changing towards maybe something a little bit more like this. So I'll keep you guys updated with that one, and we'll look at what's going on with this storm right now. First of all, this is 96L, so we're looking at this one right here. This is 96L IR satellite imagery, and it's not very organized, and I'm sure you guys can spot a couple different things. First of all, we have this area of rotation right here, which is rather interesting. Let me just break that up here. So we have this area of rotation right here, which is very interesting, as the center is supposed to be somewhere around here. And what we have going on here is you can clearly see some rotation in that area, as well as some rotation up here. And what's happening is that this is actually two upper level low, and then we have an upper level trough right here, where it goes something like that. That's an upper level trough. And I'll show you guys more closely on the models. But if we look at the visible high resolution, you can see that a little bit more closely of what we have going on with the system. We'll just have to wait for this to load here. And so basically what we do have going on is, again, we don't have a close center, obviously. We have this big easterly push, and then just, some rotation around here, some slight rotation around here, but nothing close at the moment. So, you can start to see maybe some low-level center trying to form under that big blow-up of convection, but, it's not very organized and nothing close by any means. This is an intensity guidance for 96L, so most models, the models that we're tracking is expecting to become a tropical storm in the next 36 hours. At this point, it's very possible that we do see a tropical storm in the next 36 hours. I wouldn't really doubt, but I'm not really expecting that. This is currently my graph. Maybe a tropical depression, but, I'm not really expecting any tropical storm with this system, so this is really what I'm expecting with this. Maybe a slight chance in about 24 hours if it really does organize quickly. But, this is the model guidance for this. This is the GEPS model guidance for the system. Obviously showing landfall anywhere from, northern Carolina to the northern Florida. We've seen a little shift. At first, we were a little bit more in the Florida area. Now we're trending a little bit more northward, while the cone is shifting a little bit more northward. So again, this will be making its approach on land in about 48 hours. So it'll be a big rainmaker, even if it doesn't acquire this tropical characteristic. But in the next 48 hours, it does have the chance to obviously develop a close low-level center, which could push it towards those tropical storm status. But we do have some pretty unfavorable conditions near the coast, which we'll talk about. This is our main development region, storm 95L, really struggling this morning compared to yesterday. This was earlier today, really looking not too bad at all. It's been looking worse, but we still had that big convection center. And what has happened overnight and this morning is really we've had a lot of drier intrusion. And, even earlier, you could really see that rotation kind of popping up in here. And it actually did have a closed low level center. Yesterday, at least, for sure, it had a closed low. So you could see really that rotation happening. This morning, it looks a little less evident. I'm not even sure that it does have a closed low at this point. If we look at the storm here, sorry about that. If you look at the storm here, it's kind of hard to see any closed low, at least at the moment. There's still definitely a possibility that it does, but it's really not as as defined as we were seeing yesterday. Convection drying out, and it is opening back up into a wave axis. So it really doesn't mean it's not going to form, but we just have this dry air intrusion from everywhere here, as it's really going into a big area of dry air, and so that is really killing all that thunderstorm activity. Model-wise, all models pretty much pushing towards still the possibility for this to become tropical storm. Obviously, staying it around a wave for the next 48 hours, and then really pushing it towards tropical storm status in about maybe 60 to 72 hours, maybe acquiring tropical storm characteristic. And if you look at those spaghetti models, that would be as it approaches the Lesser Antilles. Now, as I was talking about, we've seen a shift, quite a big shift actually. Previous model guidance were showing this going like this. This were kind of our three possibilities, more northward. Now, the new spaghetti guidance does show a more southerly shift, likely because of a weaker storm and a stronger ridge. A southerly shift means worse conditions, cooler waters, and so we're going to be seeing a weaker storm with this if it does develop into anything. Here are some other spaghetti guidance which does show a little bit more of that northerly shift here, where we were expecting this to move like this and then head out to sea. Right now, the trend is just going straight into the Caribbean instead of taking that northerly shift, likely because of a higher ridge and a weaker storm. Something very important to look at, obviously, is that it's really going to be that wind shear, and this is where we have 96L, and it is currently does not have any high wind shear, but that is going to change in the next couple of days as it does head towards the coast. You can see it will acquire a little bit more shear, so that is something to keep an eye on. And then not really visible anywhere, but we do have 95L somewhere. This is probably it, somewhere in this area, and it will be going into some higher shear eventually, and then also in here where we will be getting some higher shear. So this is still not very good conditions for neither of this storm. And again, this is where we have 96L, which will also be acquiring some dry air on the coast. And 95L will be going into this massive area of dry air as it really goes on. So conditions will just be looking worse forward. If this is the cone right here, it will be just being worse and worse for the storm. But models still trying to show some potential development with this. As we look quickly at the GFS run here, you can see that it does try to develop something on multiple occasions here. Let me just switch to the... it does try to develop something on multiple occasions here. This is the GFS latest model run. Just heads up, we have 96L and 95L, obviously, as you can see right here. And it does try to develop into something again a couple times here. As you can see here, this is the next couple of days. It completely opens up with this one here. And with this new GFS run, it actually does not regain itself ever will. So this new GFS run actually has a lot weaker storm compared to the previous one. Previous ones were showing something with this. That's no longer the case. But it does show potentially the possibility for a close low with 96L. So next update, we're likely to see the chances to drop from 95L and the chances to rise for 96L. After that, we will have again the chance for another tropical storm. in the main development region, as you can see right here, where we do have the chance for something to pop up here from that wave that's currently coming off the coast of Africa. Thanks you for watching, and don't forget